This video is going to be breaking down the 3-2-6 odd defense in college football 25. This is probably my favorite defense in the game right now because it is a very good defense in terms of its coverage capabilities as well as its pressure capabilities, and it's going to be a lot of send for type of pressures that we're going to be going over in this video. Now, if you want to get my entire 326 defensive ebook, that ebook is in our school community. You can become a school member today for just $10. It's going to get you access to all of my college football and Madden offensive and defensive ebooks, and that link is going to be in the description down below. Now, for the coaching adjustments in this defense, we are going to have our auto flip off. We're going to have defensive motion response disabled, our option defense read key on conservative, our option defense pitch key is going to be on aggressive, and then I'm going to leave the zone drops up to you. The only thing I normally will ever do is put my hooks on 5 or super situationally put my flats on 30. I personally am just going to leave it on default for right now. And in a game, I might put it on there. Now, for packages, one of the biggest things with this defense is that you utilize this package at the bottom, the slot cornerback package. If you don't use the slot cornerback package, the adjustments are, in my opinion, not really what you would want them to be. Now, what I recommend with this defense, there's a lot of different ways to run this. We have match plays in here, cover 4 quarters, cover 4 palms. We also have edge blitz 3, which we're going to be going over that. We have DB fire in here. So I'm just going to set a couple audibles. I'm going to have the DB fire 2 as an audible. I'm going to have edge blitz 3. If I can find the play, I'm going to have that as an audible. I think I passed it. There it is, edge blitz 3. I'm going to have cover 4 quarters as an audible, and I'm going to have Tampa 2 as an audible. These are kind of my base defenses that I like to use. You could, if you wanted to, you could totally do, where's that defense at? Let me see if I can find the cover 3 match in here and see what that's looking like. This cover 3 match is kind of cool because it is blitzing a slot corner. If you want to play man, I'm going to actually show you a way to run man out of this as well. You also have strong eagle slant 3, which is at least worth just kind of putting. You could, again, it's a little bit up to you in terms of how you want to run this. You could put strong eagle slant 3 in here as well, and you would have a lot of success. I'm actually just going to put strong eagle slant 3 in so that it's the same, kind of get some consistency here. So I'm going to put strong eagle slant 3 in. It could be edge blitz, though. I'm just trying to give you some options, right? And then I want to show some DB fire. So we're going to come out. You can pretty much come out in whatever play you want. So I'm going to come out in man coverage to show you this blitz first. And I'm going to come out in the cover 2 man because cover 2 man is a defense that is really, really good in this game. Now, what I like to do is I like to come out in the play and I like to immediately flip it because I feel like it makes the alignment better. Okay, so I'm going to come out in the play with the linebacker blitzing on the left, and I'm going to immediately flip it so that the linebacker is blitzing on the right. So you'll see here, I'm going to flip the play, and now the linebacker on the right is blitzing, and then we're just going to press, and we're going to, you see how it basically kind of creates like a baseline feel? So you can do that if you wanted to. I wouldn't necessarily do that out of man coverage, but out of zone, you could do that, and it's kind of cool. So again, I really like running this flipped. That's why, we have, strong eagles, like if I want to run, let's say I want to run edge blitz, for example. Okay. I'll just show you that first, and then we'll talk about some other stuff. What I'll do is I know I want to run it off the left, right? So I'm going to call it, and then I'm going to immediately flip it. So call it, immediately flip it. So you see, this is what we get. And then now we're going to bring this guy over, and we're going to have this send 4. And as you see, this guy is kind of looping around, right? Really cool. Now, if I wanted to, let's say I didn't want to flip it, but I want to audible, right? I audible to Tampa 2 or a cover 4 quarters here. And now I can basically run the defense like this. I'm going to click off of him and put this guy on my user. And now we're back in this A-gap blitz that I think is really good. Now, one little tip, or in my opinion, that makes this better is if you were to spread your D-line. I think spreading the D-line makes these loop blitzes a lot better. You get just a better path, and you see there, that time we get a little bit better pressure. Okay. And again, you can do this. Gabriel just did some crazy, crazy stuff. You can do this out of man coverage, which is what makes, I think, it kind of cool. So if I want to do it out of man coverage, I'm going to go to cover two man, which already has the stock here. I'm going to flip the play. Now with man, we don't want to do the audible trick. We want to just play man, right? We just press man, everybody on the field. I know I'm going to have the running back, and we just call it good. Literally this right here, this is such a good coverage because you basically use the running back. And what's cool about this four-man blitz is this four-man blitz is going to force people to use the running back. So if you think about it, I'm here so I can shoot the run. If they run the ball, I can shoot it. I'll show that. So if I'm sitting right here, let's say they run the ball. Duo is harder, but you can shoot it. You'll see. I just shoot through here and shoot the run. And then if they pass, what's kind of cool about this is you just have to use the running back. So if you think about it, like right here, if the running back goes on a wheel, he might be open for a second, but I can kind of top the route. Okay. And we have the safety help to be able to help us a lot. They're going to block their running back against this blitz. I pretty much guarantee you that because this blitz is so consistent in game. This is a really, really good blitz. Again, all you're doing is just containing, and then here I'm going to block guard the running back. Now, let's talk about, like, let's say you don't want to run man. Let's say you want to run more zone. This is how I would run the zone. So if I'm running zone out of this, what I really like to do is I really like to, again, come out with the linebacker blitzing on the left. So I'm going to flip cover 4/4 here. I'm going to call it. I'm going to flip it. I'm going to spread my line, shade underneath, and then move this guy like this. Now we're pretty much set up. And then we can adjust our coverage however we want to. And as you see, this blitz angle is just super, super, super good. Now, let's say I want to run Tampa 2. I could just audible to Tampa 2, and you see it's already set up. So now I'm just ready to go, and now we're in Tampa 2. And voila. So you see a couple different ways to run it. I believe that when you audible to a play in this game, I feel like that's what triggers kind of the baseline feature where they don't move as much. You don't get as many alignment issues. So you could just come out in quarters flipped and audible to Tampa 2. You could come out in Tampa 2 and audible to quarters, whatever you want to do, right? Now, what they're ultimately going to start to do, and this is what's pretty common, is either they're going to do some slide protection, so they'll start to slide to the left, or slide. Either way, it doesn't matter. They'll start to slide. So what I'll do, just super situationally, is I'll audible to DB fire, and again, I'm going to spread my D line, right? And basically, we're just going to try to get some slot corner heat because they're sliding. So you see here, they're sliding. We try to get some slot corner heat. Time we got a little disengage over the DT, right? I'm just trying to get some basic pressure. Another thing that you could honestly do, though, seriously, is you could go to that strong eagle slant 3, because I would say, which this that should not have happened. We should come out in the right play, but anyways, you go to the strong eagle slant 3. Remember, we're going to click off on this guy, and we're just going to let this 4-man from the slot corner have a chance. This is also why we send the 4-man with the other. But you see how fast I can come in on that left side. So that's another thing that we could do. We could put both of those plays in the playbook, and have that at our disposal as well. But let me just actually come out on the right defense here. And again, this is where I would just come out on the play. So like if I was going to come out, if I knew I wanted to kind of mix things up, and because he's starting to pick up my A gap blitz, then I could just come out in edge blitz 3, and then I know I'm going to run off the left side, just flip the play. Now you see we're in a really good alignment. I'm going to bring this guy over like I always do, and I can do one of two things. Either A, I can click off of him and get on this guy right here, and now what we're really optimizing for is we're just trying to get the slot corner off the edge. So what I like to do here is that you can contain it. He'll take a little wider angle, and you see there, and that was, again, that's specific to a slide right protection. If they don't slide right on there, I don't think that blitz is actually going to be as good. So here I'll just I'll run it back, and let me see, I'm going to flip the play, spread my line, QB contain, and then I would move this guy over so it looks the same. This is where I would maybe run some cross man out of this in this situation. And then we're going to kind of hover right in here, and now we're going to take our first step inside. You see, it doesn't come in if you don't slide. So that's where I, again, you're going to use this blitz kind of sparingly. Another way we use this blitz, though, is if they're just consistently picking up the edge pressure, another way to use it is to audible to it, flip it like this. You spread the D line, and then now what you're able to do is you're going to go to this look where you're going to stay on this user, and you're going to like this, and now this guy has a chance to loop around the edge, right? These are the ways you could run this defense. One other way that you could run this, and this is kind of like, I wouldn't say I just don't think I run this a lot, but basically you move this guy over like this, and now we're going to try to send the slot off the left. So it could be, look something like this. If you want to slant your D line inside to kind of get a better angle, you see here. Sometimes he can get around the edge. It again, those slot corner blitzes are primarily for when they slide protect, because if they're half sliding if they half slide to either side, these slot corner blitzes are pretty consistently reliable, and you can get these slot corners around the edge. But you set that up with your loop blitzes, which is the foundation of the defense. So that's where we get back into, our cover four quarters, and really doing this right here. This is the foundation of the defense, right? And then the other blitzes are kind of mix-ins if they block this blitz. So, anyways, that's how I'm running dollar right now. If you guys want to check out my full ebook on dollar, it's in the school community, which is in the description down below.